Welcome to This Week with Old Sarge. Take two because I done messed up. Been a little while because I've been in the process of moving things, looking a little empty back that direction. Look a lot more doggone empty before it's over with. So what we're talking about this week, talking about effective type communication. So, way back when, last century, when I was running a squad out of the Mighty Kong, shout out to you guys. Came back from my scheduled time off. Whole squad's there for day shift. We're back on duty for the next 3 days in a row. Going through my old squad basket there that everybody dumps everything in. You need a report check, put it in there. Got all kinds of correspondence and everything else in there. Digging through that. Checking my email because we started old dark doggone 30. Sun ain't even thought about coming up yet. Woo! Chicken's still sleeping. We're in there taking care of business. So I'm digging through this basket, separating everything out, making all my different piles, getting everything squared away. Emails firing up. Got like 38 emails in there. 2 doggone days off, 38 emails, which ain't much compared to a lot of folks in a lot of places. Most of it, doggone useless. Somebody's having a birthday somewhere. Well, happy birthday. Why the hell you got to send me an email about somebody I never heard about that's having a birthday? Delete. So I'm going down through there, separating out the sheep from the goats in the old email world. Getting rid of them. Keeping what's important. Going through the old squad basket there. Got a note from the station commander, the LT his own self. Worked with this fella a couple times before. He's a bit of a ball buster. Got a note in there. Says, come see me. Well, he ain't going to be here for another 5 hours or so. Start his regular shift. Because we start early. And I mentioned that to you. So, that goes on the back burner. No problem. It's not one of those notes you get like in the academy, you know, where they yell at you and tell you to leave the classroom and take your name tag and your books with you and report to police science. Been around too long, too old. Ain't worried about it. So, later on, station commander comes wheeling in. Give him the update. What we got going on, what we're doing, how things going, all that kind of business. He said, you get that note? I said, yes, sir. I got your note right here. What's going on? He's like, come on back to my office for a minute. Grab the old portable radio so I can keep track of everything that's going on in case some emergency happens. He says, have a seat there. Sit down in his office. What's going on, LT? He's like, well, a new procedure has come out, paperwork-wise. Some kind of different way to cross T's and dot I's. You're not adhering to it. Well, who'd it come down from? Came all the way down from Total Weird headquarters. All right. How was I supposed to know about this? He's like, well, they sent you an email. All right, well, what's this email label as? Is it memorandum or something like that? Yeah, it's memorandum, and it's labeled some kind of long name. Doesn't seem to make any kind of sense. You know how them desk driving types get. They start flexing them muscles a little bit. What kind of stupid name am I going to call this memorandum so nobody knows what in the hell it's about? And I said, well, probably deleted the thing because it didn't sound like it's anything had to do with my squad. I said, I can try to pull it back up. He said, there ain't no need. He says, I printed out, you know, because admin type stuff, procedures, big deal, you know, you got to keep track of that. So I printed out all 3 pages, put it on my bulletin board right there. He said, you can, you know, take that down and shoot you a copy of it, keep it in your squad basket. I said, all right, where's this new procedure at? I'm walking over the bulletin board looking at these 3 pages here, all single space type, paragraphs all over the place. He's like, oh, right there at the end on the last page. What kind of moron puts a new procedure that everyone is supposed to adhere to on the third doggone page of an email at the very doggone end and expect anybody to comply with it? What kind of moron does that? So I scroll over from the first page over to page 3, look at the bottom, and sure enough, cross this T different, dot that I different on this type of report. Wow, that's a doggone. I'm surprised the earth didn't stop spinning because I missed that one. Woo, that was a big deal, huh? He's like, well, things are important. Got to do things, the way you're supposed to be done. I'm like, yep. Keep Total Weird happy. Total Weird's happy. Everybody's happy. So I'm like, that's kind of a weird way to do that, ain't it, LT? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, bear with me here for a minute. If you're wanting to put out a new procedure, wouldn't you put like in the subject line of that memorandum, new procedure to start, whatever the procedure is, and maybe a date, effective date? And then in the first paragraph, you'd say this new procedure starting this date, blah, 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 and this is what we want you to do. Now the rest of them paragraphs can be about why they're wanting to do that, and if I care to read all that, which I don't, I can. But you put the important part right at the top. I bet you have a lot more people read that thing. He sat back in his chair and he's like, that kind of makes sense. I said, well, maybe if you have the opportunity one of these days, you could help me out a little bit. Because I'd hate to be in this fight all by myself about putting the important information first and then all the historical bullshit on preceding pages. Maybe it's not preceding pages after, if I want to know all about that crap, and I can read it at my leisure. He's like, that's pretty good idea. Well, thank you. Come up with them every once in a while. Can't claim a real good record with it, but every once in a while, got it going on. So, started using a new procedure. Make sure you have that cover sheet with your doggone TPS report. Kind of crap. Oh, state police travels on a sea of paper for a paperless system. Watch out. So, you're going to be communicating with folks. Get the important part out first. A lot of people just say, good to go. I'll do it that way from now on. For those occasional people that want historical references and cross-references and all that crap, well, you got it all right there. Hand them a big old sheaf of paper and say, here, read it for yourself. Let me know if you got a question. So, shout out section this week. Shout out to all my B troopers out there doing the JOB. Holding true to their oath. Taking care of business. Doing things right first time, every time without fail. Appreciate what you're doing. It's hard out there. Going through another rough patch. Hang in there. You best be keeping track of each other, doggone it. Military. It's pretty tough. Pretty doggone tough. I got some personal feelings about the whole situation, but I'll let that whole thing just go. But we appreciate what you're doing out there. Holding true to your standing that post, holding that line. Appreciate what you're doing out there. So thank you. Thank you very much. So till next week.